Welcome to When Elderly Caregiving Upends Your Life, What's Next? It's a YouTube series based on our super popular webinars. Whether you're new to caregiving or deep in the journey, this is the place for you. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can catch the latest episodes when they drop. And like these videos and share with your friends. Thanks, and let's get started. So what's going on? I want to leave you today with a better sense of how your loved one is doing so that you can be more proactive in their care. And that understanding starts with understanding the activities of daily living. This is the thing. The activities of daily living is a term that gets thrown around a lot. And it's funny, as I started my work and my research, I did a lot of study, and then I even Googled or didn't Google it. I put it in Chat GPT, and even Chat GPT can't get the things right. So I want to just spend a little bit of time talking about what activities of daily living are so you'll have a better understanding. So let's first talk the 6 activities of daily living. The 6 activities of daily living are things like feeding yourself, dressing, bathing, stuff like that. It's things that you need to do every day and sometimes multiple times a day. And you will find that medical providers, long-term care insurance, your health insurance companies are going to ask you about activities of daily living, and knowing activities of daily living is going to be important for senior living providers. Okay, so a lot of times people may ask you directly about activities of daily living, or now after this presentation, you're going to go to appointments and you're going to hear them ask you something and you're going to go, oh, I know what they're asking me. They're asking me how they're doing with their activities of daily living. But this is where the confusion comes in. There are also 8 instrumental activities of daily living, and these are basic life management skills. So here's the great comparison. So whereas the activities of daily living focus on things like, can you feed yourself? The instrumental activities of daily living talk about things like, can you prepare a meal? So make a shopping list, go to the store, come home, prep, cook, all those types of things. And so whenever you're thinking about something, kind of think about how involved it is, because an instrumental activity of daily living requires a higher level of thinking and cognition for planning and completing a task that generally has multiple steps. These tend to be done on regular intervals, but are not necessarily done every day. And they may be something, and we'll get into this a little more later, they may be something your loved one never learned how to do or handled frequently. Okay, so let's talk about what the 6 activities of daily living. Again, these are personal care tasks. So the first one is bathing, but it includes things like brushing your teeth, combing your hair, and trimming your nails. Then dressing, that's both getting dressed at the beginning of the day and getting undressed at night or to take a shower. And so you can think about all the times during the day you do that. Next is eating. And this is really focusing on the actual feeding yourself, picking up a fork or a spoon, getting the food into your mouth, or drinking out of a glass or a cup. Next is transferring. Transferring is about how well your loved one can get in and out of bed or up and down from a chair. Okay? Next is toileting. Toileting focuses on how safely can they go to the bathroom, undo their clothes, go to the bathroom, get dressed again, clean their hands, and leave the room. That is different than, and this is where there is confusion, of continence. So continence is the last of the 6 activities of daily living, and that's about how well they maintain bladder and bowel control. Okay, so personal care activities probably done multiple times during the day. Okay. Instrumental activities of daily living. So the first one is using communication tools. How well can they dial numbers on the phone? Can they send emails or snail mail? Next, shopping for goods and services. This includes both online and offline. Preparing meals. We kind of talked about that earlier. Cleaning the house, keeping the yard and things well maintained. Doing the laundry is an instrumental activity of daily living. One of the most important is managing medications. Next, also really important, handling finances. And finally, arranging transportation so they can get to where they need to be. So I want to kind of stop here for a moment and just have you think about, so this was the instrumental activities of daily living, and you can see how these are much more involved processes. The last one. So just quickly what this slide is showing, and so depending on where your loved one is, these percentages are the percentage of the population that has trouble with 2 or more of the activities of daily living. Okay, so we're going to do a breakout session. I'd like you guys to share with each other is with which, if you're caring for someone now, with which of the 8 IADLs and 6 ADLs does your loved one struggle? Or if you've ended that journey or anticipate that you will be on that journey, which ones do you think that most people struggle with? So I'm going to leave this slide up underneath. You see there, I listed them. So if anybody needs reference to go back as to what they are, you can just refer to this slide. Thank you for joining us on this journey, and catch us in the next episode.